G'day, I'm Glenn Morris from the Smart Energy Lab, and today I've got Jane from Hoymiles. G'day, Jane.
Hello, Glenn.
Well, nice to meet you,
Nice
and
to
welcome
meet
coming all this way up the mountain. In fact, you came all the way from the Philippines?
Yeah, I went to Thailand for exhibition and Malaysia visit some clients, and then Philippines in Manila for a couple of days to visit some clients, and then to Melbourne.
Oh, I see. This is a big business trip.
Yeah, big trip because the COVID have been blocked us for a couple of years.
Yes.
So it's the time for us to visit our clients.
Oh, so good. So good to get out and travel again.
Yeah, it's very nice. And I miss Melbourne.
Right. So
Yeah.
you've been to Melbourne before?
Yeah, I was working for the other company like 2 years ago. Yeah. Here.
Oh, right. Oh, that's great. Now you're with Hoymiles. What's your role with the company?
I was technical support manager.
Yep.
From this year before June, and I become the APAC market of the sales director. So now I'm taking care of the Asia and also Australia and New Zealand market. So
Right.
yeah.
We were talking before we went on camera about different countries and how popular microinverters are becoming, particularly in like Europe and the US. Why is that?
For US, because they have the regulation about rapid shutdown. So for those string inverters in the whole US is not compliant with the regulation. So microinverter is definitely the first choice for the whole market. And residential market in US is a huge market. Yeah, and for Europe, currently they have a very strict environment about energies. So for German, they have some regulation as well. Not regulation, I mean they have a kind of new rules come up, like less than 600 watts of a systems. If you install by yourself, you don't have to apply to the grid company.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why. So our twin-one microinverter is kind of very popular.
So it's kind of like the right to solar without having to make it an expensive operation. People could put up 2 or 3 panels.
Yeah, they can just install by themselves on their balcony.
I think the Netherlands had this some years ago where it was so on your balcony you could have some solar panels.
Yeah.
And it suited that latitude because they're so far north, your panels might as well be vertical.
Yeah. They, the German people, they love to do all those handmade stuff. So they prefer to install by themselves. And normally 4 panels or 2 panels is enough for a very small PV system. Yeah.
Right. All right. I hadn't really thought about that market in Germany. So it's a bit more difficult in Australia. We've gone down a different path, which is to try to make high voltage DC safe by putting lots of stickers on things.
Yeah. I know in Australia you don't have this regulation, but for us, for microinverters, it's high safety because we also take a very good part in even that. I mean, it's price sensitive area in Asia, like in Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia.
Yep.
It's also they have new regulation comes up, so we are also trying to making things better there. So Australia is our new market, but we hope that we can do a good job in the upcoming years.
Great. So I guess another advantage with a microinverter is it doesn't take up any space on the wall. This is all on the roof, right?
Yeah.
And so the only thing that's going to be changed about down at the switchboard is one more switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, and maybe a monitoring device.
Only one monitoring device. So for the 5 kilowatt system, you just need to install like 3 pieces of a microinverter and 1 data transfer unit, and you should be fine for the whole system. And for all those monitoring, you can just use the app.
Yep.
Yeah, and all those OMM you can also figure by app. So also for the after sales, Hoymiles microinverter we only replace, we don't fix. So I think also the reliability of Hoymiles product is pretty good. For the past 4 years, actually, we are selling more and more every year. Our selling double compared to the last year, and the failure rate is very low. So we don't have lots of complaint from clients. So I think also microinverter should be a better choice if the customer concerned about the safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should explain something to my audience. So the term microinverter refers to this device here, but actually in our standards in AS/NZS 5033, the 2020 edition, we completely dropped any reference to microinverters. It's just an inverter. This has actually been a really good thing for manufacturers of particularly high-powered ones, because there's no longer any 350 watt limit as there used to be. The only differentiation between what we think of as a microinverter and what we think of as a string inverter is the maximum input voltage. If it's less than 120 volts, you don't need a DC isolating switch on this. You don't need any special extra equipment. So really, these can be as big as you like. I mean, I've put the 1500 watt HME, I think it is, on the wall outside already. This is the 700 VA HM 700.
Yeah.
So that is almost the same power as the first inverters I were installing 15 years ago, which were string inverters, which were this big.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, because actually, I know for the residential market in Australia is 4 and 5 watts for the panels. So for currently the product range we got from 1-in-1, 2-in-1, 4-in-1, it's very okay to use the panels. Also, our new model is coming up, is HMS 2000. But I think we are not going to use that big panel because we always do DC oversizing.
Yes.
So yeah.
A 2000 VA microinverter.
Yeah.
With how many inputs?
4 inputs.
4 inputs. Wow.
The max input voltage is 60.
Right.
Watts.
So 500 watts per input.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you mentioned DC overpowering. Do you want to explain what you mean by that?
The DC, normally the panel you have to get the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So I think in Australia the regulation is no more than 1.33 times. Yeah. So I think HMS 2000 is our newest model, and it's not suitable for this market. But we have HMS 1600, and you can do the DC oversizing up to 1.35. We suggested. But if you want to have a higher one, it's also okay for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might explain that to some of our international audience a bit, which is in Australia we have a rebate scheme. It's called the Small Scale Renewable Energy Scheme, and to be eligible for that you've got to comply with a bunch of rules. And one of those rules is that your maximum PV power with respect to your inverter's AC output is 1.33 times. So that kind of means if you go over that, you're not eligible for the rebate. It's not illegal, but it's not eligible for the rebate. And of course, everyone wants the rebate, so more or less it's
but most of the installers, they prefer to have the rebate,
yes.
the end users. So we also think about this.
Yes. Hopefully that'll change in the future.
Maybe, I hope so.
It's a silly, silly rule. In fact, I call it the silly rule because really more solar is better for the customer, even if there's what's so-called DC overpowering, because every day isn't a sunny day.
Yeah, in Australia every day is sunny day. So
no, every day isn't a sunny day if you're in Melbourne. So you want lots of PV. You know, your 6 kilowatt system might only put out 1 kilowatt on a rainy day. So
that's
overpowering is good for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's have a little look at this unit here. A couple of features I notice is you have a built-in trunking system. There's not a separate T connector and a separate bunch of cables.
For the currently this serial, our HM serials, is daisy chain version, like hand close to hands, like.
So the opposite of this on the next one will be plugging in like this.
Yeah. So it's daisy chain version. We have already certified by the SAA and the CEC. For the new version will be a trunk.
It will be a trunk.
It will be a trunk because when the trunk cable, the trunk cable is only 12 AWG.
Yep.
For the reason why the new version we have to put a trunk cable is because we have to make the AC cable bigger.
Oh, so you run longer strings.
Per string you can add more microinverters.
Yeah. Oh, I get you. But it's very tidy for small systems not to have an extra trunking cable. Yeah,
for small system, the DC chain is most popular, to be honest.
It's truly plug and play.
Yeah, plug and play.
Yeah. So in terms of the Australian market, the changes coming, you said there's a larger inverter, but it'll be, the bigger than the 1500?
Yeah, 16.
1600.
16 and 18 and 2000.
And with a maximum input of 60 volts, was it?
65.
65. Oh, that's excellent because there are, your bigger panels having quite high voltages.
Yes.
I was just looking at some REC panels. They're like 59 volts open circuit. Yeah.
Yeah, open circuit is 65, and the max input current should be 15.
15 amps.
15 amps or 15 or 16, I forgot.
Yeah, well, that's plenty.
16? 16, sorry. So need to...
We've got our technical support, Chris, just off the camera here. Just making sure we say the right things.
Yeah, 16 amps. So it
Yeah.
will be very good for the 1A2 cells panels.
Yeah.
Because I think for the residential, it's enough. 1A2, 210 cells is too big.
Yes.
You can't carry by one person.
No, the panels are getting too big.
You have to use a lift, I think. Like 210.
Yeah, I've got some 660 watt panels here, and they're huge. They're like 2.4 meters long by 1.2 wide.
Maybe you have to have two people.
Two people, yeah.
Two people
they're really for solar farms, but in a way, the solar farm industry, this is what I've been told, is driving the fact that panels are getting bigger for the residential market because the cell sizes are going up. So the 182s, the 200s, the 220s, the cells are getting big, and therefore the panels are getting big.
Yeah, but I mean, for the top roof, if you use a very big panel, it's dangerous for the installers.
Yeah, I agree. It's
it's not very safety.
Yeah.
For us, we think for the residential market, 550 should be the biggest.
Well, that's huge even. 550 watts.
Yeah. This is what our client they use in Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah, they use a 545 or 550.
Yes.
They think that's the maximum they can do because if bigger than that, it would be very difficult to carry to the top roof.
Yes.
If for the solar farm, the 210 would be okay, I think.
Yes.
Solar farm, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Now, you're in Melbourne. I presume you're here for All Energy?
Yeah,
coming up.
Yeah,
I'll be there. That's going to be fun. Have you been to All Energy before?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the biggest show in Australia, so it's pretty cool.
We'll be also in Sydney next year.
Yep.
On May for the Smart Energy
Council's Expo. Great.
Yeah.
And so will Hoymiles have a booth at All Energy?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Our booth is RR113.
Wow, you can remember.
I was sending a post on my LinkedIn last night, so I think I should remember.
Yeah. Well, even if you can't remember that number, you can just look at the map that comes with the app and it'll show you where to find Hoymiles. And will you be there on the stand?
I will be there.
So people can say, "Hi Jane, I saw you on Glenn's show."
Yes. Yeah, welcome to our booths and welcome to say hi to me.
Great. Well, it's been really good talking to you. I'm glad you could make it up here.
It's a very great place. It takes a little bit difficult to drive, but I should be a good driver. Thank you, Glenn.
Cool. Thanks. Right, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of this.